So in this project, we're going to be asked to design a spinner. The company has asked you to increase their sales. Remember, spinner design should be symmetrical in order to increase the amount of spins that they have. Uh, and that in order to keep costs down, they're asking you to use the same bearing and the same hub for the bearing. So what you're really being asked to design is the spinner portion. I'm going to walk through how to design the bearing hub, and then the default spinner that the company already makes, how to assemble them and animate them so you can create your own design. Remember, your design should not be a rip-off of an existing design, but you should come up with something new that would increase the sales for the company. So when it's all said and done, what it should look like, we can see we have this spinner here that is doing exactly what it should do, and that is spin. And uh, our goal is to create this, so we can see that here. So we're going to go over and take a look, and the first thing that we're going to create is this bearing right here. So we're going to go over to a new part studio and a fresh page here, and design that bearing. We're going to put a sketch down, laying it across the top right here. Then we'll orientate ourselves. We're going to grab our center point circle tool, and we're going to draw a 22 millimeter circle. So make sure we go up here to our workspace units and make sure that we change that to millimeter. Again, the three lines here. I'm going to go back into that sketch now and use that center point circle and do a 22 millimeter circle. I'm also, because there's an 8 millimeter hole in the center of this, I'm going to draw on that center point an 8 millimeter hole, and then I'm going to extrude this to the part specifications, which is 7 millimeters. So what we can see is we've created our bearing here. I can right click, rename this bearing, and I can also right click and edit the appearance to change this to be whatever color I'd like it to be. So now I'm going to come down here and create another part studio, and I'm going to create my hub, as they call it, the bearing hub. So we can see here, I'm going to draw this in the side profile view here and revolve it fully. You could draw it in the complete profile view and then revolve it a half profile, but I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to do 4 millimeters here to the right. Then if I look up, I'm going to go 3 millimeters, and then it is 1 millimeter to the left, 0.25 millimeters up, 6 millimeters to the right, and then 1.75 millimeters up. So I'm going to exit out of this. My center line on this, so going up from here, is 4.125 millimeters. So I'm just going to hit escape, and I'm going to pull out my dimensions so they're a little bit easier to see for you, a little bit more organized. Now the next line that we have to draw is a 2 millimeter line coming to the left. And if we take a look at the diagram, there's an arc from this end of the 2 millimeter line to the end of the 4.125, and this arc itself is 17.5 millimeters. So we can see here, I'm just going to drag that up so we can see it. Here's the schematic for this. So once we have this, all we're going to do is a simple full revolution. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to click on revolve. We're going to select the face here around the axis, which gives us our full revolution, as we can see here. Then they ask us to fillet the outside edge 1 millimeter. And then the bottom edge, we're going to chamfer 1 millimeter. So we can see that